What's up, YouTubers? Today I'll bring a deck profile on the Grand Blue deck. This deck is based on Nightrose, not 7Cs. I know most people prefer 7Cs because they're better. But with this new set, Nightrose gained support too, and it's better. So let's get started. For starting Vanguard, we have Ghosty. Two purposes. First, it helps you to fill up your drop zone early game, and you get an extra card to your hand. Second, it has a Ghosty in its name as a normal unit, which help you to get more target in the drop zone from 4 to become 9. Originally, you only have the Strider, but with this and the new grade ones, you have total of 9 target as Ghosty for you to call out with the G Guardian or the Stride, the G unit. That's all it does. It's a good starter. I mean, if you call it back out, you could use the skill again. So, not bad. Then moving on to grade 3, we have 4 Nightrose. Nightrose GB2 skill is good against some cards such as Kagero, Diablo. So, if you're playing against Kagero and it's your turn to attack, you don't have a stride, but you have GB2. And your opponent Griffin on your Gas Dragon, since Gas Dragon is 19, which is too much for them to handle. So they kill that. And then you could just mill top 3 to call Gas Dragon out. And then it's 19 again, because it's its own ability, which is pretty good. Then second ability is on Stride. Every single time you stride, you can counterblast 1. Choose a card from your drop zone to call it out. And that unit gains 2000. Then moving on for other grade 3, we play 2 Storm. Storm is good rearguard ability since if it discards in Hollow and it attacks a Vanguard, you can counterblast 1 and then call a unit out which that has Hollow ability but not onto this rearguard or the same copy. It's good. I mean, 11k without a boost, give you another unit to attack. It's pretty good because unless you're dealing with an opponent which has Cross Ride or some card that gains power. Let's say Messiah, the Sacrifice, gains 3000 to a Vanguard, that makes the Vanguard 14k. Or you're playing against Angel Feather, they took a damage and it gains power early game, or they use G Guardian swap damage. So most of the time this hits, and skill doesn't need to hit. Second ability is on Ride, which you hardly go for this card to ride. But if you do ride it, you could counterblast 1. Look top 7 for a Hollow card. A card that has Hollow ability and add it to your hand. Then the last grade 3 we run is Gas Dragon. 1 copy is fine. You mill it. Mill it into the drop zone, you could use it. Once it's in the drop zone, you could call it like almost every single turn. And if you call it with Stride skill, it's every single turn that will be a 21 attacker without boost. Which is heavy, so your opponent needs 15 to guard. If you have a boost, your opponent needs 20k shield to guard, which is a lot for just 1 card. Then moving on to grade 2, we have 3 copy that's similar to Gas Dragon. This is a 16 attacker, and Gas Dragon is a 19 attacker. Both hits, and it hits numbers, so your opponent needs a 10k to guard this. Then moving on to other grade 2s, we have 2 copy of Cannon. Cannon is just there so that you could kill opponent's board and extra card to your hand. So every single time you call it from the drop zone, if it's in Hollow, you can counterblast 1. Choose one of the opponent's rearguard and kill it. Then you could draw a card from it. Help you to get your opponent's board clear. So if your opponent has annoying cards on the board, you can just kill it. Unless they resist, which you can't. But most of the time you don't call this unless you want to kill something. Then moving on, we have 2 this from the trial deck. If it's boosted, you could just call 1 from the drop zone. That's help you to get extra attack. It's like Storm, but Storm doesn't need boost, which this needs. Then we play 2 of this card. It needs Nightrose as a Vanguard. If you have Nightrose as Vanguard, and this is called if this plays on rare, this card doesn't need to be Hollow, but it will since you call it to rare. So you could counterblast one, soul blast one, call a unit from the drop zone, and that unit and this unit gains 2,000. At the end of the turn, if it's hollowed, you could countercharge one and soul charge one. So basically, make this cost free, which you pay nothing to call a unit. Then moving on, we have 3 of the new card. 15 attacker. It's a bit weak, I would say, but it's good because if attack hits your opponent's Vanguard, you could countercharge one and soul charge one, which help you to get more soul and more cost to use later on. Then moving on to grade 1, we have 4 unflip PG. PG is there to unflip, nothing much. 4 Strider, Ghosty name and to stride. Then for the new Ghosty we have, when this is placed on rare, you gain 2k. So it's a 9k attack. It's 9k, but it needs GB1 though. So as long as it's GB1, it's a 9k attacker or a 9k booster. Second ability is during each battle, if this card is put into the drop zone from the field, you could put this to the bottom of the deck and countercharge one. So basically, during battle, if you let's say you have Nightrose as stride, you could counterblast 2 to replace columns. So basically, you kill this, and then this goes to the bottom of the deck. Countercharge 1, pretty good. 7k on its own. No, 9k on its own, because every single time you call it, it's 9k. So pretty nice. As long as you have GB, early game it's just 7. Then we play 1 copy of this. You only need 1. I don't think you need to play more, and you don't use this that often anymore like before. You could spam this with the new support. You actually need the soul, so you try to control the amount of use on this. Like you could use it once or twice, I guess, to draw 2 cards, because it dies at the end of the turn, and then next turn you could call it back and then soul blast to draw. Then moving on, we play 1 of this starter. You play in the deck. You don't play it as a starter, because if you play as a starter, you need to found a way to kill this. And if you play in the deck, you could just mill it out, and you could call this. By calling this every single turn, hollow it, and then at the end of the turn, you could countercharge 2. So it's a free countercharge. It doesn't need to soul charge unlike the other ones, but you do need a soul, so it's okay, not that bad, but countercharge 2 helps a lot. Like, let's say you use Nightrose as stride, and Nightrose counterblast 2, you call this out, at the end of the turn, this retires. Nightrose basically becomes free unit for you. So you basically made the extra attack with Nightrose, and it's free. Then moving on, we have triggers for crit. First, a new crit for Nightrose, soul charge, gains 5 and draw a card. Then 4 more crit. Reprint, when this if this is on the rare, and you could just soul charge this to draw a card. Then we have 4 Ghosty Sand Trigger. Not a normal unit. You can't call this with one of the G Guardian or the G unit, but if this is called and it's hollow, you could choose one of the unit you have on the board and gains 10,000. So it's pretty good, gains 10k. It's like 2 trigger. Also, if at the end of the turn, if this dies, if it has hollow, you could return this to the deck instead of put it into drop zone. So it gives you 1 more trigger and help you to help you so that you don't deck out that easily. Even though it's 1 card, but it matters. You never know. Then we have 4 heal trigger. Heal trigger's purposes before is only to heal on 6 or anytime. Now has a new ability, which is G Guardian. You could release it from hand by dropping a G Guardian. By dropping a heal trigger to the drop, you could call G Guardian to guard, which is better than 10k shield. Then moving on to stride, we have 4 copy of the new card. Skill is counterblast 1, soul blast 1. Choose a same copy as name, so persona. By flipping 1, you could soul blast max to 5, and then for each you soul blast, you could call 1 out. So let's say you soul blast 1 and counterblast 1 was the cost, then you soul blast 2. You could superior call 2 unit out, and for each face up card you have in your G zone, they gain 1,000. So basically, if you call 3 unit by Soul Blasting 3, and you have 6 card face up in your G zone. They gain 6,000, which is pretty good. It gives you more power and help you to set up your board. And for this deck was Critical Trigger, the Great Shoes, Ghosty, the starter. It help you to get soul, so you could have a use on it. Then we play 4 Nightrose. Still a good card, Counterbasu. You could replace a column. You could basically call a column. Call 2 units, they're on different role, which is also a column. So it helps. Extra attack. I mean, who doesn't want an extra attack? If you call gas dragon on it, oh, that would be like 26, which is another 26 attack. That's a lot. So basically, you could choose something to retire it and then call it, and then Nightrose's ability to call it again, which is pretty good. Then we play 2 of the Fighter Collection one. You don't really go into it anymore since you only have 2. So basically, Shriding 1 and Unflip 1. That's you only allowed to call 1 unit out from the skill, but that unit gains. Let's say if you call Gas Dragon, Gas Dragon is 11k before. As the original power 11k, so that will be 22. By its own skill, that will be at 31. So still good. Then moving on, we play 1 of the Ghosty and 1 of this. These 2 purposes for Ghosty is usually for first turn strike if you don't have a good drop zone. So it helps you to build up your drop zone faster too. If you do have a good drop zone, you can just go into this strike. So you don't need that. But if you have a bad drop zone, that helps you to set up. The other one is usually when you run out of stride, you can just go into it. If attack hits, you could call 1 from the drop zone and gain 2,000. So if it actually hits, you could call Gas Dragon out and make another 21k attack. Then moving on, for G Guardian, we have 2 of the new G Guardian, which counterblast 1, you could kill 1 of your unit, then call a normal unit, Ghosty, to your field, and it gains 10k shield. The other G Guardian is the one from Fighter Collection, which you mill top 2, gains 5k. So there you guys have it. Hope you guys enjoyed this deck, and I will see you guys next time.